And we're back with the Opie and Anthony program, live from D.C. at the XM satellite radio compound in the middle of the ghetto. Had another interesting ride over here, by the way.
We had a nice car driver.
It was nice. XM set us up nice.
We didn't talk about drive over in the retard van.
We do talk about the nice stuff, too.
Once in a blue moon, when it happens.
We had a nice town car with tinted windows.
Oh, yeah.
Making us feel very important, Anthony.
Was that because we were just ragging on the fact that they usually pick us up in the retard van with our cartoon faces on the side?
I have no idea.
Feels a little odd. We were ragging about that last week.
I have a feeling that the Opie and Anthony van has been painted over, and they don't want to tell us.
Yeah.
So they're like, look, we'll make it look really good. We'll pick them up in a nice town car, tinted windows, and that'll distract them so they don't see Major League Baseball now on XM satellite radio all over this van that used to have our faces.
Look out the window. That was nice. The Bob Edwards van driving around. Boring people on the road.
NPR. Can I say I listened to that on the way in? At NPR, it is atrocious radio. How does anybody listen to that? It is horrible.
I take a cab every morning in New York to the station, right? That's a quick cab ride. Whoa, what happened there? Every cab driver listens to NPR.
Yeah.
They could barely speak English, but they're getting informed by listening to NPR.
These savages, they're picking up like one word here and there. They think they know American politics. They nod occasionally at the wrong places. It's a commercial, you monkey. What are you nodding at? Oh, it's terrible, boring radio. It's just dry and mildly informative. The most overrated radio in the country is NPR.
It's like a bad, never-ending newscast that just goes on and on.
I was praying for a news ticker sound in the back.
Yeah.
This is NPR. Oh, you fucking dead person with a microphone. It was awful.
Our guest today is the senator from Arizona who will be discussing the... Oh!
Jeep, 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 jeep. You want to hear the senator? Jeep, 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 jeep. It was unlistenably bad. I couldn't get over that this is what everybody raves about as this informative radio. It just stinks.
Yeah, they all listen to it.
Yeah.
So I was thinking on the way over, we're in this town car with the tinted windows.
Yeah.
The tinted windows were there, so people couldn't get a good shot at us, I'm thinking.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, because then...
Can't take a pot shot through the window?
Oh, the driver, he's got this new GPS.
Yeah.
He had this new portable GPS system that he was bragging about. He's like, I'm going to try it for the first time.
Yeah, great.
Well,
test it out on your way driving us to work.
If GPS, the company that makes the GPSs want to make a lot of money, they should have a feature on those things where you avoid the ghetto.
Because, you mean like a red zone, hot zone?
Yeah, because the GPS doesn't know that they're going to take you the shortest way from the hotel to the XM compound, right? But the GPS has no idea that they're going to send you right through the ghetto.
Yeah.
This guy was making lefts and rights through the ghetto. There's burnt-out cars. There's cars in the middle of the road just idling.
Yeah, it gives you the fastest route, but perhaps the fastest route is not the safest route.
Right. They should have a Schwoogie feature.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what GPS should be for. Get past Schwoogies.
Oh, I don't even have my bell. How can we do radio like this when I don't have my bell? Ding, ding. Jesus.
Well, you think about it, though.
Yeah, well...
Whitey wants to go from point A to point B, but they don't want to have to go through Schwoogieville to get there.
Right. Well, I was a little worried at one point. We're going through the projects, and there was somebody parked in the road with just left barely enough room for the car to squeak through.
Yeah,
and that's a danger because you really have to slow down and, people can jump out and do things. Maybe carjack you or something. They kind of do that on purpose sometimes.
Right.
They make it so you have to slow down so they could get to you. You can't speed off. And that was a little frightening because I looked at the guy sitting in the car in the road and, whoo, he wasn't there picking up someone for an office job early in the morning. Yeah, Believe me.
He was up to no good. So I even said to the driver jokingly, like, well, usually we'd beep and yell and scream, but let's not do that today.
To the drug dealer, you said.
Oh,
and he goes, you're right.
You're right. He goes, you're right. Do you know where we're at? I'm like, no. He goes, that's exactly what's going on in this neighborhood. I'm like, great. He goes, that XM, they got a great deal on that compound, but it's in the middle of the ghetto. And we're like, yeah, we understand that.
Fortress XM.
My guy was a little African gentleman who was a pretty aggressive driver, but we had a thing where there was a slow minivan in front of us, and it was on the block where there was 40 young, enterprising youths standing outside. I imagine they were waiting for a school bus. And he's honking at the person in front of us, and there's nowhere to go around.
Oh, no.
And I'm thinking, don't honk, because if the person stops and gets out to confront you, we have no options unless this car has a raise up and go over the car in front of it feature.
Which I doubt it did.
I'm not saying that those enterprising young gentlemen weren't out there doing good.
Sure.
Maybe they were with the public works systems and waiting to get picked up for their jobs.
Could have been. You don't know.
They could have been Adopt-A-Highway volunteers waiting to clean up trash.
Could have also been holding bricks waiting to do the Reginald Denny impression.
Also a very, very viable possibility.
Here, take this with you. Do a little dance.
You know what we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah.
The Ozzy interview yesterday was just amazing.
I could not believe how happy Jimmy was yesterday.
Up, Ben?
No, I asked him for something.
The happiest little guy.
Yeah, so Jim Norton's dream came true yesterday, and he got to talk to Ozzy in person.
Which I must say was very nice to have that whole thing work out. That worked. You know, we were supposed to have Ozzy come in. It was supposed to be during the show. He showed up, and we had a great time with him. And it actually all worked out. It was something that worked.
I really enjoyed that interview. I thought it was a lot of fun on
Ozzy was
so many
funny.
levels. He was hilarious.
A lot of funny lines. He's got a sense of humor about himself and his family and the whole situation with the TV show and his drug use.
I was walking around Georgetown with Norton yesterday, and he was just still on cloud 9, as they say, you know. And he goes, man, I really thought you were going to throw me under the bus. I'm like, do you understand? In the end, we're all true friends here, and I would never
scumbag thing that would be to do.
Like, well, I panicked because you did mention it before, and I'm like, I didn't think you would, but then I'm like, well, what if he did?
Well, of course, why? Wow, why does that happen?
Do you notice it fades? It's kind of fading a weird way, or what do you notice?
It's every time that door opens up, which is
really?
Yeah, it's just like sucking the air or the oxygen out of the room. I don't know. That is weird.
And do you hear that door banging every time they close it?
That's nice.
Well, it's just, the little things you got to get used to when you broadcast somewhere else. They can't help every little situation.
How did I become the bad guy? Just by mentioning that the door closed.
Jimmy, it's a door. What do you want him to do?
Have Jaime just stand there and not close it?
Yeah, Norton,
I demand you put in Star Trek doors.
Calm down, man. Jeez. Anyway. Yeah, well, I am a dick enough to just have it in the back of your mind that you might be thrown under the bus. But, when it comes down to it, we're all really good friends, and I would never do that to you because that was your moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go, but just hear me out, though. That's the only person I wouldn't throw you under the bus.
Just Ozzy.
That's it. That's the only guy.
You really don't have any other huge heroes. Although yesterday you were talking about Robert Plant, which would have been, huge.
I like Robert Plant. I like Robert Plant a lot, but not like that. I mean,
yeah.
Richard Pryor is the only other guy.
Right.
Well, on that level.
Well, we're not going to get much of an interview
you can't really
these days, unfortunately.
Him.
So, Ozzy comes in, and just a few observations, that we didn't talk about because we had to get right off the air yesterday, but I've never seen Jim Norton look like he did yesterday.
He was just the happiest guy.
You looked like you were 12 years old. You were just in amazement.
Shooting tussleable.
And he spent the first 10 minutes when Ozzy was in studio. I'd have to listen to the tape again, but barely talking.
I didn't say a word.
Just looking at him, looking at his eyes, looking at everything
staring
on his
at
body,
Ozzy like a madman.
looking at all his rings, his jewelry, his, just everything.
His black left pinky nail with that really cool pinky ring
that
he has.
Thing on there,
He's got that really great, 3/4 length pinky ring on his finger.
It's not even like a ring. It encases his pinky, where it looks like some kind of vampire thing.
Yeah.
Encases his pinky, and then he's got the nail coming out.
Well, that's
really cool.
That's like the Coke nail from the old days.
That's exactly what it looks like. And I was looking at his cross. He looked really healthy. It's the best I've ever seen Ozzy look in at least last 20 years. Yep. It was the healthiest I've seen him look.
It's all trimmed down,
and he sounded very healthy too. He wasn't babbling like he usually does. And then so Jim was just taking it all in, which I found fascinating. I was watching Jim watch Ozzy because I'm like, wow, this is how it is when you get to meet your hero, I guess, And then, slowly but surely, Jim finally loosened up. Like, oh, my God, I'm going to blow this. I got to start talking. You couldn't talk. You were petrified.
I couldn't. I had questions.
You were, paralyzed, it looked like.
I was for the first 10 minutes. I had questions written down. And as soon as he walked in the door, when they said Ozzy's here, it was like,
Oh, he got all scared.
I realized that I had a paper with worthless ink on it, and those words meant nothing in human translation.
he had spent all day writing down these questions that he wanted to ask Ozzy in red ink. He had a whole big sheet of paper, and I guess 3/4 of it was just full of questions for Ozzy. And I guess as you're writing them, you're thinking, yeah, this is good, this, that. And then once Ozzy showed up, he quickly reviewed his questions and realized they meant nothing.
Because when he walked in, and you guys were great yesterday, because you guys were so comfortable, and it's like Ant just starts talking to him, and it's like that was a great way to interview him. Hey, man, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm looking at my stupid, my fucking Bill O'Reilly list of questions that I have for my idol. So, what do you do before a show? Question. Shithead I was.
Question.
I had nothing intuitive to ask him, nothing real.
Do you have that list of questions still?
They asked me to sign it. They want to try to get it on eBay.
They're putting it on eBay.
Oh, you should.
Dude, it was...
Yeah, let's all sign that. Because I think we tried extra hard yesterday just for you, by the way.
Here's what happened.
I mean, let's be honest. Anthony and I call this in every day. You know, we've been doing this so long. But we're like, when Jim's meeting his hero, I guess we got to try today.
You guys wanted Ozzy in.
We want to make your experience very enjoyable.
But you would have, because we had to come to D.C. and Ant had to go away, and I know that you guys would have said, look, we love Ozzy. We'll be happy to have him next time. But for me... I know you guys are like, let's just stay in town. You guys did that for me, and I knew you did. And I knew you gave him a great interview, so I really was very grateful yesterday.
For little Jimmy.
If you would have just, let me do the interview, I would have sat there, and it would have been horrible. I was too nervous to talk. I couldn't ask him anything. No, you couldn't even...
I'm not even kidding. You were paralyzed.
Yeah, I couldn't talk.
If Ant and I walked out of the room... It would have probably made for some great radio, but I don't think you would have been able to pull it off, which just amazes me because you got, you're famous in your own right and have a huge following, but you couldn't even talk to him. And then when you loosened up and started interacting with Ozzy, it was a cool moment for me. I'm like, wow, look at this, what's going on here?
This was the beauty of Ozzy, man. This is why I like him. It's like when most people come in the studio, they know Opie and Anthony. I mean, they just look at me and think I'm some oddball in the studio, which is not an incorrect assumption. But they normally will just talk to you guys. But the beauty of Ozzy was he was talking to you guys, and he was also addressing me. And when I would ask him something stupid, he didn't just politely nod at me and then talk to you guys. He was actually answering me. It was really weird to realize I'm like, Ozzy Osbourne is talking to you right now. It was so
Oh, I know.
surreal.
You're looking right into his eyes.
Oh, dude,
he really enjoyed his time with us, too, you know.
He loved it.
I could just tell. You could tell when someone just hates being there, and he was really into it.
I could see him coming back, maybe not just once, and maybe, Jim, maybe some kind of... friendship, dare I say, gets sparked up between you guys.
He noticed that the best part was when he noticed you blinked a lot.
I blinked a lot.
Oh, my God. He goes, are you winking at me? It's like, no, I'm just twitching like a nervous Nelly.
And he's like, somebody said something, goes, I don't suck cocks, Jimmy. I was like,
and he had no problem with your experience with the
tranny. He didn't care.
Thank you for saying the word, because I still have a problem saying that word.
Tranny?
Tranny. There you go.
Tranny.
I said it.
Yeah. Well, it's a fine word.
Can knock that one off my list of words.
Tranny. Done.
And
he was
put
and tranny.
There you go. Only 100 words to go.
Put the money in the tranny's hand.
Tranny Island.
Where's that?
.com.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Now we're going to have problems.
Hi, boys. How you doing?
Now we're going to have problems. Now we're going to have problems.
How you doing, boys?
We're in the middle of our Ozzy post-interview.
I'm going to blow your mind. Who's going to be in here tomorrow? You're here?
We already know. I'm staying around
Robert
for a picture.
Plant.
Robert.
Is he going to be here?
Here.
In our studio.
Do you want him?
Doing our show.
More than anything.
Is he going to get up that early?
That's the problem.
That's the problem, see? What time is he scheduled to come in? Scheduled to come in later in the afternoon. But I
know it's either dinner with him tonight or tomorrow night. He hasn't decided. Have you seen what they're doing in Performance 1?
No.
The big studio.
No, what?
They are recreating Morocco in there. No joke. They got silk hangings and plants and candles all over the place.
And our phones don't work, but there's Morocco.
Wait.
They're
reenacting a clitoral circumcision in the other room, but we can't get a call from fucking Bubba somewhere.
Let me get more details on Robert Plant. What was the big deal this morning with all the...
Oh, we don't want to go back down that road. All right. We're in a happy place now.
Okay, good. All right, sorry.
I do believe at least 3 people will be fired over it, though.
Oh, nice.
I got 1, 2...
Three down?
3 down.
And I got to send out a special thank you, obviously. Ben did a great job. Lee Abrams, I know, really helped out. And the booker was great. She came through big time, worked through MTV. So, I mean, look, we talk shit when things aren't good, but that was a tough one to get. And, man, she pulled a lot of strings and got us Ozzy. And that was, I think, 80% her. So, fucking great, man.
This is where this is all leading to. We'll get to Bruce in a second.
It was like a Make-A-Wish Foundation thing
my
for,
God, it
for a
was.
retard.
Jimmy was like a Pejoria kid going to Neverland.
It really was.
We should really start our own Make-A-Wish experience.
For ourselves. I wish the phones work. There, that's all I ask for.
All I want is something signed. All I want is something signed by Kurt Cobain. That's all I want. A real
something
autograph.
old, obviously.
Well,
I was thinking that's going to be a hard signature to get there,
That's
Opie.
gettable, man. There's a lot of stuff with this stuff.
dude, I was at the Hard Rock Cafe trying to figure out how to unscrew something that's upstairs. And then I asked Hard Rock Johnny, I'm like, dude, $1,000 cash. What?
Wow.
What?
Yeah, he asked him and he said he could,
No, he said no. So now I can talk about it on the air. I'm like, here's $1,000 cash. Give me a screwdriver. I want to take that thing home.
What was it?
It was a nice thing that he signed.
You can find Kurt stuff. Steve brought it up on eBay or something. There's tons of stuff. I mean,
Make sure it's original.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could, because you could trust everything that's on eBay. Screw that.
You need some kind of.
And I don't even trust the certificate stuff anymore.
No.
Our friend Jay, good old Jay, he bought a Lou Gehrig signature for one of his brothers.
Oh no,
dude, he shows it to me. He's like, "What do you think? You know, my brother's a huge baseball fan. This is his Christmas present this year when I go back to Atlanta." This thing, the autograph was in pencil, and I'm like, oh, Jay. And then he shows me the thing, the certificate.
They did used to use pencil.
I know.
Back
then he
then,
shows me the
a
certificate, and I go, well, did you compare with other Lou Gehrig autographs maybe online? He goes, yeah, it kind of looks like it.
Oh. How much did he pay?
How much?
It was a lot.
How much?
I really don't know. I don't want to
Was
just
it
throw
more
a
than
number out
1,000,
there.
you think, or?
Probably, yeah. Probably right around 1,000, maybe 800, somewhere around there, I think, if I remember correctly. So then,
what was it on?
I think it was a letter or something.
Yeah.
This goes back a couple of years, and then I told Jay, you know what? Your brother's never gonna know. Just freaking give it to him. He'll be excited that he has a Lou Gehrig, even though it's probably Bob from North Carolina decided to make a few extra bucks. But but if the person doesn't know for sure that it's not a real autograph, then I guess to him it's a real autograph, right?
He'll question it.
So hard to get memorabilia and know it's real. So many people getting ripped off.
Right. So we got to get back to the Ozzy thing. So it was a big day for Jimmy, and we come down here. He's still on cloud nine, and decides to end his evening on an up note. That's where we've been leading to for the last 20 minutes.
It's just the release of that drug in your brain, whether it's dopamine or whatever it is that releases when you're when this rush, this joy, this euphoria, and that's what I was having all day with Ozzy. I can't. And Steve got him to do drops.
Oh, I know.
You should. Do we have the drops available?
Oh, the drop he did. He did one drop that was really good.
It was unbelievable. I heard this. It was like one of these days where everything is perfect.
Yep.
Nothing was wrong.
Hello, my name's Ozzy Osbourne, and you're listening to my pal, Little Jimmy Norton. What a fucking little guy he is.
That's the one with the echo put into it. There's another one, too.
Well, Steve plays that for us after the show, and Jimmy started hugging Steve.
Yeah,
he
couldn't believe he got it.
It was a real moment. It wasn't Jimmy being like silly.
Nope.
He grabbed Steve and hugged him and was like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah, it was so great. And it was just one of those days where everything was perfect. Ozzy to sign the picture I had of he and I. It was just I didn't bring a lot of stuff to sign, just one picture, and I got a shot with him. It was just fun. He was so nice. And last night we come down to D.C., and I'm like, I'm going to finish this evening off right, and what better way to do it that? Ball bag release.
The perfect day for you now, this would amount to.
Yeah, the perfect day. But I just couldn't get enough. Greedy scumbag me. Greedy, never wants the party to end and face who he really is in the mirror. Scumbag me.
You couldn't just go to sleep with a smile on your face.
Couldn't just thank God and go to bed.
Right.
No. I had to go on a Craigslist and have a young lady of the evening come over, and she was atrocious.
Really? Really?
Atrocious.
Now, looking or the technique, what was bad about her?
And was there a picture of her?
No, she didn't have a pic online, and she didn't want a lot of money. And believe me, I'm like 0 for 2, but I'm like, you know what? I don't really want much. That's all I want.
Right.
Little Hummer, go to bed. So she comes over, and I'm like, are you a BBW? Which big, beautiful woman.
Fat chick.
She said no, but she should have said yes because she was a big black whale. She was a fatso. She was a fucking fatso.
How fat?
Not fat enough to to need a crane to remove from the home, but fat enough where if somebody was assaulting her with a bat, you wouldn't call 911.
Wow, that is really
I wanted to carve
awful.
my initials in her back while she laid on the beach and some liberal threw water on her. Fat whore showed up and ruined my Ozzy. I looked through the peephole and I'm like, ah. So she comes in.
It was like, I was thinking of the chick that showed up in Risky Business, which happened to be a man.
You know who she? No,
Was she kind of manly?
She was atrocious, dude.
What time was this about? Ballpark. Lost all concept of time and space.
It was late.
It was late because I heard some yapping out in the hallway. Was she yapping?
Oh my God! No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Just heard some loud yapping.
No.
You better let me in.
Yeah. Oh no. It was nothing.
Give me my goddamn money.
It was nothing aggressive like that.
No. Okay.
But she won't do anything.
Maybe it was Jimmy going, and stay out.
No. It wasn't like that. It was $150. And she comes in. I'm like, look, I just wanted,
You get right to business
That's
with
all
someone
I
like
wanted.
this. Yeah.
And she's shy. She's like,
What?
Dude, you don't understand. She was shy. She's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
She wanted me to go down on her first. Dude,
Jesus, you're
swear
kidding.
to God. Swear to
Are
God.
you kidding me?
She wanted me to go down on her first. And she's like shy about getting undressed. She's like, can you do it in the other? Can I do it in the other? She wanted me to leave the room. And I'm like, I walked out of the room.
Look around for what she could steal.
And so I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
Oh, brother.
And I'm looking at her, and I'm like, she's awful. And I'm like, I really don't want to. And I was trying to think of, like, why do I want to be a scumbag and be mean? So I'm like, look, I got to get up really early. It's really late. Maybe you could just do me. And she's like, I don't know. She's like, I'm not. Dude, it was like.
I don't know.
I was waiting for Alan Funt to come out of my closet and go, she's not really a hooker. She's an actress.
This is actually Joanne Flug in disguise. We put Joanne Flug in a fat suit and sent her to little Jimmy Norton.
I wound up giving her, I said, just give me back 50 and leave.
Are you kidding me?
Only because the only reason I
You paid to have her leave.
The only reason I didn't freak out and demand it all is because and again, you never know who you're dealing with. Somebody could have mace or start screaming and yelling. It's just not worth it. And it was almost like a joke, like, this is what you deserve, asshole. This is what you deserve.
Well, it's just because you got greedy, like you said.
You got greedy.
This is what you deserve. Go down on me. No.
Go down. What?
She was
I'm
awful.
paying you, lady.
George from Philly wants to know if it was Mabel King with legs.
No, she wasn't that fat. She was just awful. She was just like
Did she
awful.
smell?
I don't think she smelled. No, I would love to say yes, but I'm sure she would have had I gotten that far.
So what was she thinking coming to your room?
I don't. She's like, can we get to know each other first?
Know each other?
She was, this girl, I don't know if she was an actual 24-hour, 7-day-a-week hooker. This was something she was probably doing for some extra cash.
What was she expecting?
Dude, I have no idea.
How much did it finally cost you?
$100.
$100 for an annoying woman to come to your house and then to kick her out.
Had I been willing to go slow, I do think she would have done something. She was really nervous. She wasn't in rip-off mode, and I believe me, I've had them show up. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like, she's like, well, can we go slow? Like, do you think we could just sit here for a little while? And, like, she wanted to, like, make it, like, a regular experience.
I guess to fix it in her head.
That I'm not just coming over here, and maybe she saw me without a shirt and realized, it's not worth the money.
Hob the knob, take your money, and leave.
Dude, it was just awful.
I had a similar story, and I think I told Anthony this a while ago. Back when the internet first started, maybe about 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I was talking to a girl online, and it's before you got pictures. Remember when you first started and you really didn't have pictures? And I talked to her a couple times, and one morning, a Saturday morning, we're talking about sex, and she's like, I'm really horny. So, she described herself to me, and I said, what do you look like? She's blonde hair, this and that. And I said, but, when you're trying to talk about being fat, you're trying to be discreet about it. So she described herself. She, I have, like a 28-inch waist. And I said, okay, she sounded decent.
Pleasantly plump.
Yeah, so I said, okay, I'm going to let her. She's going to come over to my house because she's looking to get laid, and I was looking to get laid. It was a Saturday morning. So I'm on the cell phone with her as she's getting close to my house.
Yeah.
She pulls up in front of the house and gets out of the car. And she is huge. She had to have been 250 pounds.
Holy jeez.
And I'm like, Now, she knows it's my house because I'm on the phone with her, and she's pulling up in front. So I'm like, what do I do? I didn't know what to do. So she came in.
Wow.
And she's humongous. So I said to myself,
set your house on fire. That's what you do in that situation. She sees flames jumping out a window. You go, sorry, my house is on fire. Yeah. You gotta take the hit.
You just gotta run out of the house with your cell phone going, the house is on fire. I just called 911.
So she comes in and she sits on the couch, and I'm looking at her and I'm saying to myself, all right, I'm gonna let her blow me. So she takes her shirt off and she has these huge, sloppy, disgusting cans.
Of course.
But I pull my pants down, and she starts going down on me.
Of course.
And I'm, like, rubbing her tits and everything, and I'm looking down, and I can't even look at her. And it just got to the point where I tapped her on the shoulder, and I said, you know what? You got to go.
You tapped her out?
You tapped out? I tapped her out.
I'm out.
She has my cock in her hand, and she looks up at me, she goes, what? And I go, I'm sorry, you got to go.
Oh,
and
wow.
She said, why? And I said, you know what? I have a girlfriend, and I feel guilty.
There you go.
And that was my out. But, I mean, she already started going down, but I just couldn't finish. It was disgusting.
Did she have a tear in her eye while she had your hog in her hand?
You know, she kind of...
How humiliating for her.
Tapped out.
Well, I think that was nice what you did, and that's the way to do it. What you said to her.
Right.
Very pleasant.
That was the right way to do it.
All right.
You don't need a hassle. You don't need her freaking out. This chick was gross. But I don't need her freaking out in the hotel. Yeah. I don't need her screaming and yelling. I don't know if she's got some maniac with her. Drive her. It's not worth it, and it's my own. Sometimes I take responsibility for my own stupidity for being involved in that game. It was like that was your own dumbness, and she was actually nice. She wasn't. This wasn't like some I ain't doing shit. She really wanted this to be like an experience that she had.
I wonder if this could be her angle to get guys to pay her for not having sex.
No, because she asked me to go down on her first, and she was ready for that, and she would have done that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
How many guys are going to do that?
Oh, a lot of guys would. A lot of guys would, especially since in our email chat maybe we discussed certain things about the build of her.
Look, so okay. Now you're giving me a little more information.
Yeah.
You probably led her to believe you would be interested in doing that.
Oh, I did.
Of course. Okay.
I absolutely did.
All right. Now she doesn't seem as kooky.
Oh, no. I said I didn't say that. In the chat on the phone, you got to be careful on the phone. She's like, well, it's 200. I'm like, that's a little steep. She's like, well, how much were you thinking of spending? And I'm like, 150? And she's like, all right.
Wow,
and
that seems like you're taking a big chance there on getting arrested.
Well, no, because we didn't
say
over
the phone like that.
Well, that's why we didn't. We didn't say it for sex.
Prostitute for dummies. She's going to explain why that's okay.
200, 150.
It wasn't for sex.
Yeah.
She called. We talked in line. We called, and she's like, "Well, how much do you look to spend?" No sexual talk. And she's like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. Maybe I could. We could each have I could give you an oral exam. You could give me an oral exam," which sounds cheesy, but you know what? That is not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We all know what it means, but it's not what you said. And for a cop. There's no way a cop is just going to show up at your hotel room, a female cop, and put herself in that position and take her clothes off before I show. You know what I mean? There's so many things that would have to happen.
Yeah.
Like for me to go to their room would be a problem because they could have cameras and stuff. But what is she going to do? Walk into my room and close the door behind her? And I would take her top off? It's not going to happen.
And I'd assume that the cops just want to look the other way when it comes to this stuff. It's when it becomes a public nuisance that they get involved, right?
Yeah. I've never heard anything like that where anyone's gotten busted setting up a phone.
On the phone.
Yeah. No, unless you're going to their room. Like if a female cop has a room set up, they'll have Johns come in all day. Yeah.
Well, that's just to clean up an area, I'm assuming, though.
So that's what she wanted me. That's why she wanted me. I should have said that before. That's why she wanted me to go down there first.
I thought she just bust out with this out of nowhere saying, yeah, you go down. No, that's not how prostitution works, lady.
She was so awful. I was just disgusted. I'm like, ugh.
And now you're going to bed.
We were talking.
You kick her out.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Nothing. She didn't touch my mule. Would she have? Yeah. She's like, well, do you want me to give you a hand release? And I'm like, no. No, I don't.
Jesus. So there it is, Anthony.
That was the end to meeting my idol.
It was
talking to my idol.
It was supposed to be his big special day, and he ruins it in the end.
That's
the beauty of Jim Norton.
I had a dessert. We all went out. I shoved a white chocolate mousse into my fat face. I'm like, it's time to treat yourself, little Jimmy. You had a good day, thanks to the boys.
Did you hit the mini bar and everything?
Big Daddy's here.
Oh, God.
Big Daddy, living large.
The Mad Mexican,
Mexican
has entered the studio, Anthony. When we come down to Washington, we like to catch up with all our friends. Bruce Kelly from the 80s channels in studio.
All of our Hispanic friends, right?
And now we got the Mad Mexican. When do you start your show there?
Not in a couple of minutes.
Couple of minutes. So you came in to say hi?
I came to say hi. Who was the sick one? Well, we know both of you are sick, but who was like ill? Who was ill? You were ill.
No, I wasn't.
You were.
It was actually me.
Oh, you were ill.
And what I have, there's cocktails for, but there's really no known cure.
Oh, okay. I understand that. Oh, no. This guy says, tell him this.
Yeah, he has AIDS.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, everyone knows
I'm
that.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's fine. I don't care. I never tell anyone.
Well, I got a plate in my head as well, so we're just going to go on with it.
Yeah, same thing.
Plate in the head, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah. So what are you doing on your show today?
What I'm going to do is offend the masses, which, excuse me, what I usually do. And I'm just going to go out there and have a good time, talk to the people, and play their request, and that's essentially it.
What was that song I liked that you played?
Oh, that was Fuego. It's by the Cumbia Kings. They're out of Corpus Christi, Texas.
Are we going to get to hear his intro today? You're going to give us a big plug?
No, but of course.
Right at 9 o'clock?
I'm crazy, but I'm not unreasonable. Of course I'll do it.
Are we going to be able to get that set up, Ben?
Okay.
We got why aren't you wearing anything with your dog's name on it?
Chicago. Okay, I have my Chicago cap at
Chicago?
Chicago cap in the control room. I was just getting ready to go on. I had headphones and everything.
I just want to make sure your dog is still fine and everything's good.
He's still in one piece.
You didn't back over him on your way to the station or anything like Don Geronimo did.
You really love this dog, Chicago, huh?
Yeah, that's my boy. Come on, I'm his only family.
It's a bit of an obsession we've noticed.
No, not an obsession. You
got Chicago hats, Chicago shirts, Chicago.
We thought he was a fan of the band, and his dog's name is Chicago.
Yeah,
and he wears all kinds of Chicago
I'm a fan of them.
You got dog pictures in your cubicle.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow I'm going to bring a thing for Jim.
Can you bring your dog in tomorrow?
Yeah, sure. I can bring him in. If they let me in. If they let me bring him, I'll bring him in.
I would like to check out your dog, Chicago. We've heard so much about him.
Okay. Yeah, if they let me bring him in, I'll do that.
That would be awesome.
And he has a desk with the little, I like the little jelly beans and the hammer right next to him. So when a girl leans in to take a jelly bean, you just clobber her.
That's it.
He has the jelly beans.
Bruce Kelly trying to figure out what the hell's going on here.
Not at all.
He has the jelly beans set in such a way in his cubicle where the girls have to bend over to show their cleavage to grab some jelly beans.
Yeah.
We know how you think there, man.
Always a motive. Gentlemen, I didn't want to go, but you made me. See ya. I got to go on.
Oh, he's got to go for his show already?
I got to get the show ready. Good to see you, Jim.
Good, buddy.
All right, gentlemen.
Bring the dog in tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I will.
And we'll listen to the intro of your show and all that, and great.
See you, Bruce. Oh, wait.
See you.
Oh, Jesus.
Close the door.
Oh, boy.
Close.
Oh,
is this yours?
There you go.
I'm telling
Sir?
you guys are so lucky.
Why?
Because upstairs, this is every bad radio station you've ever worked at, with every freak combined into one. And he's obviously one of them.
He's a nice enough gentleman.
Oh, he's a sweet man, yeah.
Comes in, talks about his dog. I like the Mad Mexican.
And we'll
now he thinks Jimmy has AIDS.
Good. Let him.
We'll check out the intro to his show in a few minutes. What?
And we got Dee Dee. So.
Yeah, Dee Dee's got to do the news. She got her hair done, and I see she's got makeup and all. We noticed Dee Dee.
Jimmy, she doesn't believe you in the hooker story.
Oh, she is mortified of you in the hooker.
She doesn't believe it at all.
Well, she should have seen me after the hooker left, and that didn't take Jimmy Norton out of himself. So I opened the mini bar, and I eat a half a tin of Pringles, and I do Diet
the Pringles in there,
and I eat half of the Twizzlers, and I'm eating sugar and sodium. And I'm like, you're not going to be able to sleep. And then I did. My heart is do, and caffeine in the Diet Coke.
Oh my God!
This is probably 2:30 in the morning. I'm laying in bed wide awake, just thinking about my awful evening end.
Did you eat the Famous Amos cookies?
No, I didn't go near the cookies.
Oh, I ate those, and I ate like 3 Kit Kats because they got those huge Kit Kat bricks in there. Oh, you got to eat those.
Yeah.
Did you put the wax lips in your mouth and go, "Arr, I'm a hooker"? Arr.
I should have. Then I could have gone down on her. It wouldn't have bothered me.
Yeah, for some reason in the minibar there's those big wax lips.
Yeah, I saw that.
And you put them in.
Yeah.
Put them in your mouth and walk around.
They're red too.
Walk around like you live here.
What's wrong, Ben?
He's like, oh my God! When he was talking about going down on the hooker, it was just she is just so she is mortified.
Why?